Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you are watching today's video. Hope you are doing well, and welcome back to your Forest News. Apologies for yesterday. I was out and could not get in front of a computer to get the news across to you. In today's video, we are going to talk about Steve Cooper moving to a back four formation. Yes, it's true. We'll talk about what this means, when it's going to happen, and so on and so forth. We will also talk about a few weird rumors that I've seen on Twitter about Steve Cooper applying for jobs. If you haven't noticed, this is going to be quite a heavy Steve Cooper episode. And on top of that as well, we'll bring you updates on a couple of the injuries, what we know so far. So stay tuned for those. Guys, as always, if you would be kind enough to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you are looking for Forest news, for Forest watch-alongs, for Forest everything, this is the channel for you. Please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Finally, from me, we've got loads of Amazon deals down below. So if you're doing any shopping today, maybe for you, for your loved one, or like me, you ended up in the doghouse and need to panic buy something on Amazon, check our links out down below. Especially check the store out where we've put everything into nice categories for you. And then finally, there's a 30-day free Amazon music trial. The link's pinned to the comments, so click on that if you want to go and listen to some music while the football's off. With all that said, guys, let's get into the news, and we got to start with our boy Cooper. All right, guys, so Nottingham Forest is set to play a friendly, a match, a football match. But we won't get to see it because it's behind closed door. Even me, I can't get my eyes over those high walls. We won't get to see it, but it'll be a friendly. And what I'm understanding, and I've seen it today as well, reported, I think it was in the Mirror. Okay, I don't trust the Mirror that much, but it confirms from other places that I've been hearing that Cooper's designed this match to try out a back four formation and to try it out from the start and see it through to the end. Now, you got to understand there are a few players missing, of course, either through injury or through international, well, going away for their international clubs. But the whole point of this match is Plan B, if you like. Cooper has now realized that 3 at the back is not working. We are leaking too many goals. 6 goals in 2 games, 14 goals in 4 games. You name it, we break it. Too many goals being conceded. And he has, maybe from us guys, us Forest fans, talking about this week in, week out, about the formation needs to change. Maybe because of that, we've been able to help guide. It's not, guys. I'm joking with you before the comments go crazy. Look, Cooper's a man of his own mind, but he's realized there's a problem, and kudos to him for addressing it. Now, on top of that, the other headache Cooper's got is trying to fit in the 2 marquee signings, Morgan Gibbs-White and Jesse Lingard. The problem with that is they're both naturally either a number 10 or both of them can play out wide. But what Cooper's been doing so far is trying to kind of shoehorn them into the same position and get them to interchange between them. And it's not really been clicking brilliantly. Worked well for 20 minutes against Everton, but overall, the balance isn't there. So the balance isn't there at the front. It's not been there at the back. And for me, the most important place is the midfield, where we've been overrun. A lot of the times we're finding ourselves in 2-on-3s, not in our favours, sometimes 2-on-4s. Sometimes when crap's gone crazy on the pitch, it's 1-on-3s in the midfield as well. And then on top of that, where the 2 CMs are in place and intact, you end up finding that they're defending too deeply, sometimes in our box, like I've shown in analysis videos, and then sometimes just outside of our box, where they're not really becoming that relevant or able to link into the attack. So a lot of these things can be solved by a formation change. Now, just changing formation doesn't automatically guarantee you're going to win the title. But what it does show for me is that Cooper is big enough to see that the 3 at the back at the Premier League is not working. Now, the question is, what happens if they play this friendly and they're all at 6s and 7s? Will he try this out against Leicester, away from home, against a local rival? Well, for them, we're a rival, not the other way around. But will he then have the kahunas, if it doesn't quite click in this friendly, to lay it out against Leicester? That's an answer we're going to find out, obviously, a week on Monday. But for now, I think it's promising signs that this is happening. Now, does this mean as well that what Cooper's done is wrong, what Cooper's been building is not working and all this? No, not quite. But for me, it's about the league you're in. 3-5-2 is absolutely fine for Championship. We saw how well he executed that, not only with Forest, but he did it with Swansea as well. When you step into the Premier League, the problem you have with the 3-5-2 is your wing backs get doubled up against the right backs and the right wingers in, say, a 4-4-2 or something like that, and you end up always being overrun in every position. That becomes a huge problem. You can't get out of your own box. You're counter-attacked very easily when you do. And then with the organisation we've had, well, the results speak for themselves. So, fantastic news on that front. I just want to go on and address a point as well that I've seen online, because a couple of you have been asking me about it. Okay, so this point ties in, and I'm not going to name names, but it ties into the whole Cooper contract saga. And there's been people who have been putting posts out on Twitter that's had some traction about Cooper actually applying for other not Premier League, but other managerial jobs, both now and in his time in the summer and in his time previously when he was looking to sign at Nottingham Forest. And that's what caused the whole fiasco for him to leave from Swansea. This is all just a bunch of crap. I haven't seen anything from anyone with any credibility who actually can verify that this is true. So a lot of people have asked about it. I don't really want to give it too much time of day on the video, but just with these rumor mills, there's going to be loads. You've got to understand it's the international break. People are struggling to put out stories. People are struggling for footballing related stories, especially maybe at Nottingham Forest or other clubs where things are kind of just settled down. Players have gone off for international duty. There's not too much going on. You could probably point that finger at me, but if there's news, I'll give you news. If there's nothing, then I won't give you anything. It is what it is. But just wanted to address that. So please don't believe everything you're reading on Twitter, because there's no substance behind it whatsoever, especially on that story. That's that story done. Let's move on. Okay, I just want to bring you a couple of injury updates on some injuries that we've had. Now, if Forest didn't have bad luck, we'd have no luck at all. So obviously I broke to you on my YouTube shorts, and I'll be doing a lot more YouTube shorts as well. If there's quick breaking news or something like that, I'm just going to chuck it quickly up on. It saves me doing a whole edit on everything, and it gets the news to you quickly. So, and it's good on the mobile devices if you're watching it there as well. But I did bring to you that Morgan Gibbs-White has been injured, and he has come back to the Forest camp to be further assessed. Now, I've seen no new updates on it. As far as I know, he's still undergoing assessments. What does this mean in terms of injuries? I don't know. I don't know for Morgan Gibbs-White is the honest answer. He may be, I would still like to think it's a play on the whole international break thing. However, the thing that makes me think there is legitimacy behind it is that he had already travelled out with the England under-21s team, and therefore there was, usually when you get that injury international break one, it's done before they go out to the club. So I feel he may have picked up a knock there. Don't want to add anything to the rumours, of course, but this is just my opinion on it. Once I get more on MGW, of course, I will keep you guys up to date. The one I do want to talk about at a bit more detail now is Moussa Niakhate, because he actually went out with Senegal, even though he's had the injury prior to that, being his hamstring injury, I believe it is. Now, that to me was a good sign. Why would you call someone up who's injured? So he's obviously very close to coming back to full fitness. However, while away at their camp, he's been side training with a couple of other players who are coming back from injury or maybe have a slight knock. So he hasn't been training with the full team squad. I'm not actually opposed to this, because what it means, he's still in a working environment, he's still training, and the fact that he's flown out with them, for me, is a strong indication that he's very close to full fitness. It also most likely means that he won't be named in any of their starting teams, hopefully, over this international break. I think Niakhate will be ready for Leicester, but I don't know if Cooper will risk him or not. I feel that Cooper may be cornered into risking him because of how bad the other defenders have been performing over the last few matches without him, but he will have that niggle in the back of his mind. If I risk him now for the short-term game, is it going to cause us a long-term problem? How do you guys feel about this? Let me know in the comments down below. If you were Cooper and Niakhate is back to fitness, would you risk him against the Leicester match? I think it's a very touch and go decision to make on it, but let me know in the comments down below. Okay, and then to round up the news today, just a few talks about transfers. Now, obviously, we've had the new young keeper coming in. He's going to be joining the under-21s team, and this is good forward planning from Nottingham Forest because if you look at it, you got Henderson on loan. You've got Smith, whose contract runs out at the end of the year, and I think Hennessy, off the top of my head, is on a 1 or a 2 year contract. So come the end of this football year, as in May, we are going to find ourselves in a position where we may be down to just Hennessy as the goalkeeper. Henderson may end up going back to Manchester United, and of course Smith, the less said about him, the better. This keeper has a lot of potential and a lot of progress that he can do. And if he can get a good run in the under-21s team, then I think that will be good future-proofing, should I say, for Nottingham Forest. There are a lot of other rumours going around the internet about players that Forest are now linked to for the January transfer window. This is all paper talk. As I said a few minutes ago, this is about filling inches on column sheets and filling tweets up as well, because nothing's really happening. There are obviously going to be backroom stories and backroom conversations going on within the club, but just take everything you're reading with a pinch of salt. I'm not going to bring any of those links or rumors to you yet until, at the very least, they become substantiated, or at the very least, there's a bit of source behind it that I trust to. Once we get into January, though, it's back to the fun and games of this summer, no doubt. So just bear those ones in mind as well. And that brings you up to date with your Forest news for today, guys and girls. Before you do leave, if you would be kind enough to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to become a member, it's only 99p. Really does help support the channel. I thank all of my members so far that have joined. And finally, if you're doing any shopping tonight or later on this afternoon, please do check out our Amazon store, as well as the links where we've scouted the whole of Amazon to bring you guys the best deals. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Reds.